Hello and welcome back to the Truth to You podcast. I'm standing right now in what's called St. John's Basilica in Ephesus. And so what does this mean? Well, I want to sort of divert from what we know scripturally and kind of talk a little bit about what some people have said in regards to tradition. In other words, a timeline of events in John's life as was passed down by hearsay. And some of these are reputable sources, of course, but again, not mentioned so much in Scripture. Now, what is mentioned of John the Evangelist in Scripture? Well, we know that he was an apostle. We know he was the categorized as the disciple that Jesus loved. And, James and John, we read about them. They came from northern Galilee. But at any rate, so here they are doing the work of the Lord. Here John is. And he begins to go about his ministry after Christ's resurrection, and he sort of travels about, finds himself in Jerusalem, and then, fast forward towards the end of his life, as tradition has it, John was, they tried to kill him. And there were numerous attempts to kill him. At one point, they even tried to boil him in oil, and he survives this. And he survives this, and then, as tradition states, he was exiled to the Isle of Patmos. And that's when we find the writings of the book of Revelation. And what an amazing book, right? And Lord gives him this amazing vision. It says, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. And so God gives him this vision of things to come. And so he writes the book of Revelation, and then we're not sure what happens because the Bible doesn't tell us. But again, tradition states that perhaps John comes back to Ephesus at some point. And this is the area that they say that John was buried. Again, we don't have that in Scripture, but this is just going off some other people's hearsay, so to speak, that we would say maybe are reputable sources. So as was common years after the apostles lived, is the fact that they would often resurrect these churches or basilicas, sort of in honor of something that happened there. And you can see this was built after John's death, supposedly buried somewhere beneath where I'm standing now. And it's just interesting to be places where people with really amazing testimonies, and we have to remember that these were just men. These were men that just simply followed the Lord, and the Lord used in awesome ways. And God can do that with us. I mean, the fact that he was buried here, there's no spiritual significance other than the fact that he was a man that lived for God and did and fulfilled the ministry that the Lord had given him. So I wanted to share that with you here. Again, someone that we haven't talked a lot about because I'm on a Journeys of Paul tour, but nonetheless sort of intersects with a biblical place that I'm in right now, which is Ephesus. So there you have it. This is what's left of St. John's Basilica. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.